Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Ellsworth here at rooferscoffeeshop.com, back again for an influencer interview. And today I'm with Trent Cotney.
Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too. Excited to chat all things cyber security today. So this month's topic is obviously cyber security, owning your data. And the question is, what are you seeing with data protection, including cyber insurance, um, data retention, working with software providers to keep your data secure?
Yeah, so cyber, theft, ransomware, all that type of stuff continues to be a huge problem, and hackers are getting more and more sophisticated. We everybody is getting, the phishing emails, they're constantly trying to break into your system and either, you know, get access to passwords or financial data or whatever it might be. So it's important that you really take it seriously. And there's some, self-help things that you can do. Everything from, limiting access to certain, customer privacy type data, making sure that you're safeguarding your employees' confidential information, changing your passwords, looking into cybersecurity consultants that could potentially, audit what you're doing and make some suggestions. It's worth investing in that kind of stuff because all it takes is one incident, and you'll spend more than an entire year of what that cost to be. Now, cyber insurance, those premiums have increased dramatically. I remember when I was buying cyber insurance, it was a few $1,000s, it wasn't a big deal. And I remember one year was probably 3 or 4 years ago, it doubled. I was like, "Ooh, okay." And then it doubled again. I was like, "Oh, okay." And the reason is that there's just it's just so rampant right now. The other thing that we're seeing a lot of is wire fraud that is done through electronic means. People taking over, your Outlook or whatever, mimicking your email, and then sending false wire instructions. Very dangerous. A lot of times it's hard to recoup that money, and the bank won't give it back to you either. So really need to be very cautious about wires. I always recommend that you pick up the phone and confirm the details with a live person rather than just an email, because a lot of these really sophisticated hackers are just in the background waiting for a big score. But yeah, it is a systemic problem, and it requires constant alertness and just being aware.
Yeah, excellent advice, especially with the wire. That happened to me a couple years ago. Um, and the bank did not refund it. Obviously, the people that stole it didn't give it back. um, that is just so rampant right now. How do you said you suggest people, pick up the phone. Are there are there any other pieces of advice to secure, people's data? Maybe what cybersecurity insurance companies people should go with?
Yeah, there's a lot of internal protections that you can do. We've gone way past your normal virus scanner. There's so many, everything from two-step authentication to, data security keys to, all kinds of. They're switching now. I read where Google is moving away from passwords, and they're going to either use fingerprints or facial identification because it's harder, I guess, to get rid of. What's interesting is the hackers are so it, we I think about our credit cards, for example, right? We all switched to chip and pin because that's what Europe was doing, and it was supposed to be more secure. So it's actually less secure. The hackers these days, they walk by with this device, they can just walk right by you and pick up all your information. It's not from the actual chip that's in the card, but there's another chip that's in there that sends information. I was watching this podcast on it, and they said, they were asked how successful it is. They said 6 out of 10 times I'm going to grab your information. So it's stunning. For every measure that we figure out, they're already ahead of us as far as countermeasures. So it just requires constant vigilance and really limiting who has access to what. The more points of access that you give, the more chances there are that bad guys can get to it.
Yeah, so true. Well said. And I know everyone hates the two-step two-factor authentication. It's so annoying, but it really does. It can make a difference in keeping your information secure. So
Yep, absolutely. Definitely recommend it.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today, and I'll be chatting with you next month.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it.